What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and I'm still out here in New Orleans. Actually, I'm in Gretna to be exact, and I'm right in front of Thrift City, USA. So hopefully we can find some good stuff to sell on eBay or even on Poshmark as well, since you guys know I'm back selling on that platform. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so as soon as I walked in, I just wanted to see what was in the case, and just in front of the store. Of course, as you guys know, anytime I'm out of town, I usually just kind of scope out the area. They had a couple little video games in here, nothing crazy, just some old games for the Wii. Both of those games don't really sell for much, so I ended up passing on those. I always try to look through some of the Blu-ray discs because sometimes some of those actually sell for a decent amount of profit, but they didn't have anything good. They didn't have any good games there either. They had a few other ones on the bottom shelf, but I ended up just passing on all of those. And then I ended up seeing some Ataris in a bag, but after just with prior experience, I know those Ataris don't sell for too much money. I think those were like Atari remakes. They're not original Atari, so ended up leaving all of those. But ended up coming up on this Tamron lens for the Canon camera, and this one is in pretty rough shape. Honestly, this one had a crack on the very top of it, as you guys can see, but the lens itself didn't look like it had any scratches, didn't look like it had any fungus or any haze. So for that reason, I ended up just taking a chance on this one. They were asking 25 bucks for this lens, and as you guys can see, I was kind of trying to get as close as possible so you guys can see the flaws with this one, but I don't think that'll necessarily affect the actual like performance of this camera. Even the back cap, I just want to take that off so you guys can see that as well. But they were asking 25 bucks for this one, and this camera sells for, I could get at least 100 bucks for this in this condition, maybe 80 or 90 bucks, but I definitely have to take a chance on that. And this is just something for the baby. Dom ended up seeing a couple of these sleep belts, just a little, a little something that we could wrap the baby up in and sleep in. So just gonna go ahead and grab that up. As you guys can see, she was super excited. So went to the electronics section because that's usually where I get the most of my stuff to sell online. Their electronics section was probably the worst that I've seen, and I've been in a few thrift stores, but this is probably the worst that I've seen. But it is what it is. Probably just got here a little too late, or maybe they didn't restock electronics yet, who knows. But they had a ton of just basically just junk, nothing that I could really make any profit with. If you guys see anything that I may have missed, definitely drop that in the comment section. But I thought this may have been some AT&T phones. I sell those pretty often as well, but that was just VTech, so I ended up just passing on that. Here was a pair of Cole Haan shoes, and honestly, I think this was probably the best shoe that they had on the shelf. It was a blue pair of Vans as well, but those were pretty beat up. And for the most part, they didn't really have too much shoes in the men's section, so I just wanted to check, just show you guys everything that they had, at least on this side. The other side was mainly women's shoes as well. And this was just a pair of Adidas Superstars that were pretty dirty, and I think all shoes in this store was, I think, $5 or $6, so not a bad price for the shoes, but they just didn't have anything good. So I started checking out some of the jackets, and I had to give this one a second look, only because I seen that Made in USA tag, and for me that's a dead giveaway that the jacket might be worth a little something. But unfortunately, this brand in particular for varsity jackets really didn't have any strong comps, so for that reason I ended up passing on it. But overall, it was definitely pretty high quality. It was real leather sleeves on there as well, but like I said, it was only selling for maybe 30 or 40 bucks. Maybe in the fall it might do a little better. Here was a pair of Levi's 501s in this purple colorway, and believe it or not, these are selling for maybe 30 or 40 bucks. I was definitely surprised about that one, only because I haven't been selling any Levi jeans in a while, but at the end of the day, if it's bringing in some money, I'll definitely take a chance on that, so had to scoop this up. Next came up on this pair of Polo Ralph Lauren custom fit polo shirts with the big pony on there, and I haven't sold Polo Ralph Lauren in a really long time, unless it was like a vintage piece or something. But that one in particular selling for right around 30 to 35 bucks as well. They were asking $12 for it, so I ended up passing on it. And here was another one, but this one was vintage, as you can tell just based on the tag. But these Polo Ralph Lauren pieces, especially if it's custom fit, you could bring in a little more profit with those. But I don't really sell Ralph Lauren anymore. Here was a Troy Polamalu jersey, and this one wasn't stitched, unfortunately. If it was stitched, I probably would have grabbed that one up, especially for that price. But like I said, since it wasn't stitched, I ended up passing on it. And here were some more pieces that I usually, like, if this was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I definitely would have grabbed these up. But nowadays, I like brands fall off. So this Columbia PFG, I used to sell these for like 30 bucks a couple years ago. Now they're selling for right around 15 or 20. And same thing for this Under Armour shirt. I would sell them used for like 25, and now they're brand new selling for 20 bucks. So I had to pass on that one as well. So when I first seen this jacket, I was hoping that it was gonna be like a vintage Ralph Lauren jacket, but unfortunately, oh damn, it was a Polo Association jacket. So this brand is definitely not Ralph Lauren or associated with Ralph Lauren at all. So for that reason, I ended up just passing on this one. If it was Ralph though, I would have definitely grabbed it up. Here was a jacket from a brand I used to sell pretty often. As you guys can see, they were asking 15 bucks for this piece, and this brand is called Kroon. And a couple years ago, I would sell this brand anywhere between 50 or 60 bucks. It wasn't a fast seller, but anytime I found it, I usually would grab it up. But now the brand has fell off, and it usually brings in maybe 30 bucks. So for that reason, I ended up passing on it. But I'm going to check out a couple other stores. So definitely stay tuned for some more videos, and hopefully we can find some good stuff.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit. You should wanna be a real one. Earn the bases hard, I still won. Tired of wasting time. But you is on my mind. Bear me from the music. Damn, that's Coldplay when I know that you pursued it. This track is going hook alone, expressing how I feel. Shoots in my portfolio, that's how I keep it real. I just wanna go because I know we wasting time. It's so hard, moving on incline. I move forward, you hit rewind. But you should, I don't know. Like, why'd you let me go? I'm speechless, so my arms tight and I'm sleeveless. It's like fuck with a winner. Cause you feel like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. Fuck with a winner. Cause you feel like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. Built these walls up, now you knocking me, but yet you trespass on my property. The 8-ball in this game of pool. I'm too used to playing it cool. Guess you couldn't